Greetings, vloggers, bloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty, here with you again this week with the second half of this week's vlog. As you see this background, if you're on my vlog watching, the background is of the city of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, the flood city. It has been known to survive through three floods, 1889, 1936, and the last one in 1977. The first flood was actually occurred this past week in 1889, and as such, there's a memorial of it it's outside of the town in Southwark, which is about 14 miles up the river there, and behind to my left, on my left side. Or one of those rivers, either one of those rivers going out of town, you go 14 miles and it'll take you to the memorial. Why I say that is because during COVID, it's what learning about stuff like Johnstown here and I went to school in Johnstown 17 years ago, so I kind of have a loving for the city. I've been in the city, I've been downtown. I can point many of the buildings, the train station, the bus terminal, going to the KFC across the street. All these things I can point out, and when I point them out, before I do point them out, I want to mention that the video series on Johnstown Memorial saved me, and the other national parks in my region saved me during the COVID pandemic. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about things memories or thoughts that save us. And Johnstown holds a lot of memories in my heart. I spent a couple weeks, 1 year and a year in trade school there at the Hiram G. Andrews Center, the Commonwealth Technical Institute, the Hiram G. Andrews Center. It's a rehabilitation facility through the State Office of Vocational Rehabilitation in Pennsylvania. It's about an hour and a half from my home, and it's above the city of Johnstown. It's not down here. It's in a nice neighborhood and a nice community that's accessible. The downtown is accessible by bus, and it's just it was a great city then. I wouldn't know if it was so much of a great city now. I've been through it a couple of times recently, and I'm amazed at the sprawl and how everything is just valleyed down in there into that little city, and taking the streets from up in the hills where we shop to come down into Johnstown and see the beautiful city that it is. But another part of that is why I bring up Johnstown is the music that I relate with it, the music that I grew up on, learning music and just appreciating music, that songs that I can relate when riding the bus or riding down the street in a car or playing a YouTube video as one of my interests of driving down one of the streets going down into the city and maybe coming out or going into a certain area, all these things, and they bring good memories for me. Other memories come out of besides Johnstown, like, just even for me, I've been going through some rough times. If you've not been following me on TikTok or reading my Facebook posts, what have you, but or reading my blogs, I appreciate if you would, but you don't have to. And but I've been going through some challenging times, and I was about change, and I included that in the first half of this vlog. But getting back to why I associate music so much with how I'm feeling, because when we play music, we feel good about ourselves sometimes when we're autistic. And, it's not just learning, which if you're non-speaking, I guess there's some attention that you can learn the words that are spoken in the songs. But for me, it's what puts me in a good place. It's what puts me in a good mood. Anytime I leave the house and I know I'm going to be at a place where I'm going to be in silence or not constantly engaged with with someone, I have to take my Bluetooth headphones out, whether it's walking to the store, anywhere. I know I'm going to be in silence on my own because I can't. I have a difficulty functioning. Not only for the noise pollution excessiveness that we tend to have an issue tolerating. Some do have an issue tolerating, some do not. For me, excessive noise pollution is a challenge. But for me to be able to manifest a peaceful tone and a calmful tone and manage my emotions sometimes in a situation that may conversation that may be triggering or challenging, music is a solution for me. Even living in my home, it can be a solution for getting through things that are rough, the silence, all those things. I recently last weekend when I was coming out of a relapse, and I have written about this last week and into this week on my blogs. Um, coming out of that relapse, I'm realizing that I need to get back in touch with the songs in the stations of my life that made me happy. One of those was a radio station here in Johnstown that I listened to last weekend when I was driving through Johnstown, and it really perked me up a little bit. And hearing a song, and I've been playing that song for a very long, long time, just like the song says, going through as all week to get me through the week. But also, I've been playing the last week and into this week some of the rock stations that I listened to when I was with my parents and living with them, and that's what helped me cope back then, and it seems to be helping me cope better now. Um, I sometimes, sometimes I went away from listening to that, several years ago when I was in my relapses of going in and out of not taking my medication, but that's a whole nother story. But, just not paying attention and not recognizing the need for uh, that solution or that station to be played or and with smart speakers we can do that even more now without we can get stations even 150 or 60 miles away in the beautiful city of Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Even with the ability to not have to uh, do things that we did, we can play them on our smart speakers now and have a good jam, and that's okay because sometimes we need that jam to make us feel good and make us feel like we matter, and that we feel good about ourselves, because self-love is where it's at, people. It is just, you have to have that self-love. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to be the other parts of your makeup are not going to make it. And getting through the motions, as it has been for me in the last few weeks after hearing some changes, uh, you know, that really had to I really had to adapt really quickly to accepting the things that are not in my control, and and realizing what I need to do. And you'll read about that in my blog. But just realizing that I have to get back on track for me, and that maybe some of that getting back on track is bringing back some of those habits that you left at my past life, which was with my parents, and bringing some of those back, and they do help, and they are helping, and it's just great, and I'm feeling awesome, and I know I need to do that. I need to do other things too, some of the new stuff and some of the old stuff, and it seems to be helping really good. And when you get into that moment of music playing and happiness and good feelings, it's okay, and you're going to make it. So I want to close this weekend, and I'm not going to keep you on here too long because it's the weekend, and I know everybody's watching YouTube and trying to enjoy the weekend. I'm trying to enjoy the beautiful weather. The trees you just see in the background are of the fall when this picture was taken, and I hope to be back in Johnstown this fall. So, I want to remind everybody to be sure to tap the notification bell if you want to hear more content, like the video. If you want, subscribe to my channel. Be sure to visit me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Dustin's Dynasty, on the web at dustinsdynastyusa.com, Pinterest and TikTok at Dustin's Dynasty ASD. Additionally, you can watch me on this. You can watch me on this vlog on Spotify, or you can it can be also transcoded to a podcast on several other platforms. So enjoy your weekend, people, and I thank you for listening to my rant about my music and my happiness and my change. And have a good weekend, everyone.